You know that one person in your life who never seems stressed about money? They don't post about it. They don't talk about their hustle. But somehow, they always have enough, and they've had enough for years. Chances are, they don't own a startup. They own something boring. Today I'm breaking down 7 businesses that almost nobody brags about, but that quietly build more wealth than most of what you see on your feed. One of them has a 94% survival rate after 5 years. Compare that to the roughly 50% of all businesses that fail in that same window. Stick around for the last one. It's the one most people have never even considered, and it might be the easiest entry point on this entire list. Let's get into it. Laundromats have one of the highest 5-year survival rates of any small business in the country, around 94 to 95%. Out of every 100 people who open one, roughly 95 are still running it 5 years later. Why? Because the demand never has to be created. Nobody needs to be convinced to wash their clothes. It happens automatically, every week, for the rest of human history. The U.S. laundromat industry generates billions in revenue annually, and a well-run location can produce 6 figures a year with strong margins often north of 40 to 50%. Most of that comes from a customer base that's overwhelmingly repeat business. You're not chasing new customers every month. You're serving the same 200 households who live within a mile of your machines. Here's a stat that surprises most people. There are more self-storage facilities in the United States than McDonald's and Starbucks locations combined. The industry generates tens of billions of dollars a year, and net margins on a well-run facility can run above 40%. About 1 in 10 American households rents a unit. The average renter pays their bill monthly for over a year, and a lot of people just keep paying. They forget what's even in there. What makes this business remarkable isn't the storage itself, it's the psychology. Once someone starts paying, inertia keeps them paying. That's about as close to guaranteed recurring revenue as physical real estate gets. And despite how big the industry is, the majority of storage facilities in the U.S. are still independently owned, not corporate chains. There's still room to get in. This is the lowest barrier to entry on the list. You can start with under $10,000. A single well-placed machine might bring in a few $1,000s a year in profit. That doesn't sound exciting until you realize the model isn't about one machine. Operators running 30 to 40 machines across gyms, offices, and apartment complexes have built 6-figure incomes working just a few days a week, because the actual job is just restocking and collecting. The real opportunity right now is specialty vending, not soda and chips, but beauty products in salons, electronics in airports, niche snacks in offices. The more specific the niche, the less competition you're up against, and the more you can charge. No employees, no office, no storefront. Just machines and routes. Pest control is a business that grows because a problem never goes away. Insects and rodents don't check the economy before deciding to show up. The U.S. pest control industry is worth tens of billions of dollars, and the vast majority of residential revenue, around 85%, comes from recurring service contracts. That means once you land a customer, they're paying you automatically, month after month, without you having to resell them anything. Most companies in this space are small 1- or 2-person operations covering a local territory. It doesn't require a franchise or massive capital to start. It requires reliability and a route. You can start this one for under $5,000. A pressure washer, a truck, and some business cards. The reason this business works so well is that word of mouth does most of the selling for you. Clean one driveway in a neighborhood, and the neighbors notice. You don't need ads. You need one visible result. I know someone we'll call Marcus who worked a maintenance job making around $55,000 a year. 3 years ago, he bought a $3,000 pressure washer and started knocking on doors on weekends. First month, a few $100s extra. By month 6, a homeowners association contract handed him 20 houses at once. Today he runs 2 trucks, has an employee, and pulls in well over $150,000 a year on top of a job he's now thinking about leaving entirely. He didn't have a business plan or funding. He had a machine, a truck, and the willingness to knock on doors that made his hands shake the first few times. This might be the cheapest business on the entire list to start. Certification typically costs somewhere between $50 and $150, depending on your state. Once certified, you can charge per document signing, and if you specialize in mortgage closings, the the rates go up significantly. A few appointments a day and you're looking at several $100s in daily income, with no inventory, no office, and no employees. Here's the angle almost nobody talks about. If you speak a second language, you have access to a whole segment of homebuyers who specifically need a notary who speaks their language. That's a wide open market most notaries can't touch. This is the one I told you to remember because it combines everything that makes the other 6 work: recurring income, low competition, and constant demand. Plus something the others don't have: convenience. We live in a time when people pay extra to not do things themselves. Food delivery, grocery delivery, dog walking. Laundry is next, and in most mid-sized cities, this service barely exists yet. Here's the part that makes it different from business number 1. You don't need to own a laundromat. You partner with one that already exists, handle pickup, delivery, and customer service, and keep a healthy margin, often 30 to 40% without ever buying a single machine. An operator with 100 recurring weekly customers paying $30 to $50 a week can be looking at $12,000 to $20,000 a month in revenue. No storefront, no equipment, just logistics and consistency. It's the bridge between the customer and the laundromat, and right now, almost nobody is building that bridge. Here's the thing all 7 of these have in common. They solve a problem that never goes away. Clothes get dirty. Bugs come back. Storage units stay full. None of these need a booming economy to work. You don't need to start all 7. Pick the one that fits your budget, your city, and honestly what you're willing to do without worrying about how it looks on social media. Because the businesses on this list aren't the ones people post about. They're the ones that quietly pay for the life everyone says they want. If one of these changed how you think about starting a business, tell me which one in the comments. And if you know someone still waiting for the perfect idea, send them this video. It might be exactly what they need to stop waiting. Like the video if you made it this far. Subscribe if you haven't already.